Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rob.
Welcome back to the program. We believe Chris Jones coming up later on in this segment. I say we believe, Darren DuPont, just ahead of the sports update here, because there's been a few moments in this show in its early existence, because we're only in episode 154, where I almost can't believe that it's happening. Like, it's coming. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
And then it happens.
Well,
as recently as the Cody Fajardo interview last week from his coach in D.C., or Kevin Glenn announcing his retirement live on his 40th birthday on this show, or Dave Tippett joining us from his off-season home in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'll believe it when I see it. Devone Claybrooks coming on live from the BC Lions practice facility. And then it happened.
Yeah, when the team is, 1 in 10?
10, 1 in 11. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. But Chris Jones has a little bit of that too, where Chris Jones does Chris Jones, and sometimes he just might be doing his own thing. But he's a guy who, you'll pick up the phone and call him, and he'll answer. And you'll have a great conversation with him. And then the next minute, he'll be stuck in meetings, and he'll be doing his thing. And when he's dialed in, hey, I'll get to you when I get to you. So I think they got it worked out. It was the time zone thing, right? And Clark is so good at that.
An hour ago.
Yeah.
Chris Jones was ready to go.
Ready to go.
So it was a time zone thing, and we don't even know where Jones is. So he had to wait an hour to come on, and Clark will notify me the second that he's ready. So, sports update here for Ballers Rec Room. A tough night for Leafs goalie Frederik Andersen. He allowed 4 goals on 12 shots before he was pulled 49 seconds into the second period in an 8-4 Leafs loss to the host Florida Panthers Sunday. The Jets can't seem to find a way to win on home ice recently. UC Saros made 28 saves as the Nashville Predators blanked Winnipeg 1-0 at Bell MTS Place. The Jets have lost 6 in a row at home. Also, Elias Pedersen scored his 21st goal, and fellow All-Star Jacob Markstrom stopped 23 shots in the Vancouver Canucks 4-1 victory over the Wild in Minnesota. The return of Pascal Siakam and Norman Powell wasn't enough for the Raptors to get the win at Scotiabank Arena. DeMar DeRozan scored 25 points, and the San Antonio Spurs rallied from an 18-point deficit to beat Toronto 105-104. Aaron Rodgers and his Green Bay Packers are heading to the NFC title game for the third time in 6 years. Rodgers connected with Devontae Adams 8 times for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the Packers held on for a 28-23 victory over the Seattle Seahawks. The Packers will travel next weekend to take on the top-seeded San Francisco 49ers. Houston Texans will spend the offseason wondering how they let a 24-0 lead slip away. And the Kansas City Chiefs will be preparing for the Tennessee Titans in the AFC title game. The Chiefs spotted the Texans a huge lead Sunday before coming back for a 51-31 victory. Patrick Mahomes threw 5 touchdown passes for Kansas City. And Ben McIntosh broke out of his early season slump in a big way as his 4-goal effort teamed up with another polished performance from goalie Evan Kirk.
Make them work.
To push the Saskatchewan Rush to a 12-9 victory over the San Diego Seals on Sunday afternoon. The Rush hosts Colorado this Saturday night. And that is your Monday morning sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Ballers will be hosting the Rod Pedersen Show Super Bowl party February 2nd. We'll have a massive high-definition TV installed. We'll be giving away prize packages on our show, including Vern's Pizza, to you and 3 friends. So tune in next week to learn how to win. As we await Chris Jones chiming in from wherever he may be, viewers, listeners chiming in from wherever they may be. Randy Nickel writes in. He says, checking in from Mazatlan. Did you see the email going around from the tech guys here last week that Vegas was our 3rd highest city for viewership last week?
Amazing.
Figure that one out.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Defies logic.
Got to work on that Caesar's Palace sponsorship. Did you hear that?
There he is. There's Nick. Hey, Nick, come on in. Didn't you? Clark said the second Nick Lewis rolls in, say hey.
What's up?
There he is. CFL receiving king. Scott Henbury writes in on the Facebook wall. He says, good morning from the Great Western team. Congrats on hitting over 200 live viewers. Cassian will likely get 1 to 2 games, but Kachuk had it coming.
Yep.
Here's the thing, Darren. That's Nick Lewis, you see, chiming into the studio there. There we go.
How y'all doing?
In the 80s, before you were born, Darren, well, you were born in 87. Nick, what year were you born in?
1982.
82. Well, you weren't old enough, and you wouldn't have been watching the Battle of Alberta and Texas anyways. What happened the other night? Happened every whistle. Every whistle. Somebody was getting the snot pounded out of them. Dave Semenko, Tim Hunter, Marty McSorley, Joel Otto. Every whistle that was going on. And it's national news because it happened one time in a decade.
Yeah.
But I remember the time where...
Pull that mic in if you don't mind.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on. Just pull it up.
I remember the time that, what was it, probably about 10 years ago, where they just all threw down their gloves and had the fight. Wasn't that Edmonton, Calgary?
Yeah, but even that didn't seem that serious compared to the old days. You get it, man. Can you just speak for a second? Apparently, Chris has logged in. We'll be going to Coach Jones in a minute. The hatred between Calgary and Edmonton is very real. And frankly, I can get down with it. I like that kind of stuff. It's real, isn't it, Nick?
It is. You know, they said, I remember when I first got to Calgary, they were like, we don't care if you go 2-16, just beat Edmonton. You know, it's one of those things where right. It's a very real competition. They really have this hatred for each other, and it kind of rubs you the wrong way. I mean, Calgary is bigger, and, you know, Edmonton, they call it the city of champions and all these other things. They seem arrogant, and Calgary's just like hard-nosed, so... Yeah, it's real. And, you know, even talking to, like, AJ Gass now, when I see him before games, and because he's coaching in Edmonton last year, and just talking to him, it just seems so weird because I remember him and Senior Mobley and Donnie Brady and all those guys that AJ throws a helmet 15 yards. There's no penalty. There's no nothing. It was just like, put your ear pads back in and let's go.
War.
It is war.
See, now, I would have said Calgary's arrogant and Edmonton's blue collar.
Really?
Yeah. And I went to college in Calgary. I did live there. This is the first time you ever heard that?
Yes.
I love that because everybody thinks that they're great and the other guys are the problem. Oh, so Saskatoon, Regina, be the same thing. We think that about them, but they think the same thing about us, right?
It was like us in Montreal, too. You know, during those times when Huff got here and Trestman got here, it was the same issue. We felt like they were the bullies and the cocky guys in the East, but everybody felt like we were the bullies and the cocky people in the West, right? So,
which is fine. It worked for you. It worked for you.
It was all the dancing and celebrating, but it couldn't stop us.
Okay, now just refresh my memory because I'm getting old. Huff showed up in 08. We over here in Saskatchewan thought you guys were a bunch of thugs and bad people, and Huff cleared all the bad guys out, and you go on to win all these Grey Cups. That's kind of what people think here. Was that fair? Now, you were there the whole time.
I mean,
was there a big culture change?
No, the core was there. Like, the core was there. There wasn't, like, I don't remember any major pieces being removed after 2007. The core was there. Like, offensively, Joffrey, Rumbo, Cope, myself. We had got Cornish in 07. You know, that year we brought in Charleston and Smitty, and Juwan Simpson and Juwan Armour. So I think the core was there. It wasn't that we got rid of people. It was just we had a coach that, you know, one thing is Huff is all about preparation. And one of the things is we were a young team that we didn't prepare very well. And we played good some weeks. We didn't play good some weeks. But when he brought that preparation factor, we felt like we could beat anybody.
That's what took you to the next level.
That's what took us to the next level. He made us prepare, and we were prepared to beat any team. And that's one of the things that I think that's Huff's greatest thing is how he prepares and how he prepares his teams.
Clark, what's the story? We got Coach Jones. He's locked. Oh, his camera froze. So
it's that face.
Broke the camera. Well, hey, at the very least, if we have to get him on the phone, we can do that too, right, Darren? Yeah. You're behind the technology of all this. Yeah. But as we await Chris Jones joining us live this morning, Nick, what about the coaching shift, not across the CFL, but just specifically in Calgary? Mark Mueller's now gotten the promotion to quarterbacks coach. Don Jackson was here on Friday saying Mark's where he belongs. He's too smart to be with the running backs as he was. There's been some changes in Calgary. What's your take on that?
Yeah, they're making some changes. You know, Dinwiddie left. Killam was up for a job, and he did some interviews for head coaching. They promoted Pat to the co-offensive coordinator or the offensive coordinator. I believe Dave will still be calling the plays, but he gets the title. And now Mark Mueller's the quarterback coach, and Mark Mueller's one of those guys. He's a hometown guy here in Regina, and he's very smart, intelligent, and I believe he was up for the OC job in Edmonton if Killam would have got the job. So he's one of those guys, and you're in that system, and you understand what hard work is in preparation. Like I said, Huff is harder on his coaches than his players. So I understand the fact of how they prepare and what they go through to get everyone ready.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.